Chris here from thirdshift.com, and today we're talking about an exercise called the seated safety squat bar. Good morning versus forward pulling bands. All right, for this exercise, what you're going to need is a Swiss bar, a box squat box of some kind. You're going to need bands and ability to hook them up from a forward position. Now, here in my monolift, I keep dumbbells in front of my monolifts for this exact purpose. They don't get used a whole lot, but it makes it very easy to rig the bands up. If you're using this in a power rack, you could tie this to the front of the power rack. You could set dumbbells in front of the power rack. You may even be able to put band pegs further enough away and be on the outside of the power rack. Several different ways that you can set this up. This is the easiest way to do it in my facility. Now, we want the bands around the actual part of the barbell here, and I have them inside the monolift hooks to make it easy. I wouldn't have to worry about changing the weight in and out, but for example, if you were on a regular power rack and you wanted to have it on the outside towards the collar, you could tie them to like a weight storage, and that would be sufficient as well, and then you put the weights on top. So several different ways you can do this. Do what works best for you in your facility. But this specific exercise is used to target the erectors, the back, specifically the mid back and the low back of the deadlift, and you be able to make that strong static position, okay? Now, the reason I like this is because it's just going to focus on just the back portion. You're gonna develop a little bit of hip strength, but that's not really the goal of the exercise. The goal is to have positional strength to aid you in your deadlift. Now, the box squat box can be in several different positions. I wouldn't really go below 90 degrees. There's not really a need to. I actually prefer a slightly higher box to get me closer towards my deadlift starting position or in a position similar to that, because more than likely where my hips are going to be as I go to set up for a deadlift, right? So adjust the box height as needed as well, but keep that in mind as you're implementing the exercise. So I'm just going to get underneath the safety squat bar. I'm actually going to walk backwards towards the box squat box, okay? And then going to squat down. This should be the easier part of the exercise, is getting in a position. And then for most people, you're going to take a like squat-based stance to be able to keep you in a nice, good, strong position. Now, if you pull conventional, you can go with your feet in your conventional stance. And if you pull sumo, you can get out in a wide sumo stance. So pick the stance of your deadlift that you want to particularly focus on. Obviously, being wider is going to get a little bit of hip development involved, or if we go with like a conventional stance, that's not going to be the case. But I usually pick a moderate position to start and then adjust as needed. So if I was going to do a sumo one, I would definitely be out here because I pulled sumo. But I'm going to go with a moderate stance here. I'm going to try to keep my back and erector strong. Just holding this position alone, I can tell that I'm getting some static strength here. Not only is the safety bar going to naturally try to pull us forward, the bands are pulling me forward too. Then all I'm going to do is take a big breath in, brace, go down as low as I comfortably can. Obviously, we can put more weight on here if we wanted to. Go down, and then drive up. Reach down and drive up. I want to try to maintain that positional strength and drive back up into the bar. I'll go conventional stance, feet would be narrow, come down, and then drive up. The only pitfall to the conventional stance could be the handles running into it. If you have the ability to unscrew them like I do from the Elite FTS yoke bar, you could take those out as well. Put your hands back here or hold on to the pad and get the same thing. But again, going as low as you can and then driving back up. Once we're done, stand up from our box squat position and then rack. Now, this exercise will torch your back. So this definitely should be a supplemental or maybe even a tertiary exercise in your deadlift training. You can certainly implement it on your squat days as well if you really wanted to. After you've done maybe some safety squat bar work, throw this in because you're already kind of set up. But the key here is to do your main work first and then use this to drive and reinforce those positions. Think of this as almost a chair deadlift accessory exercise as well. Two fantastic exercises to drive your deadlift up. If this is a supplemental exercise, my recommendation here is doing 2 to 3 sets of about 6 to 10 reps. Really focusing again on the positional portion. If you feel that you are really breaking down, going down in that positioning, you're having to like really crane and extend to get that position, you don't want that. You want to find a weight that can let you maintain that neutrality or that position that you're going to have when you go to deadlift, so that you can train that statically, just like you're going to need when you deadlift, to be able to get in that position and then come back up. Now, from a band tension perspective, go with mini bands, probably if you're a guy, mini or monster bands if you're really strong, or a micro or mini bands if you're a lady trying to do that. We got to keep in mind, one, we've got the 65-pound bar, we have the band tension pulling forward, and then any weight that we add on there. So this isn't going to be an exercise that you get stupid crazy heavy on the weight. Again, positional-based exercise to help your deadlift and potentially even your squat. If you got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks. Have a great day.